What do women secretly hate? How my bra, pants, shirt, and dress size are all different sizes depending on who makes them. Oh, and lack of pockets. I would dearly love if pant sizes were as simple as waist, button, and seam measurements. I buy men's underwear and tights as a result. Lol, men's small is universal. When underwire doesn't stay put underneath the boob and firmly against the ribcage, but instead starts creeping up along the underboob. No one really talk about this. Underwire. Period. It's times like this I'm glad I have small breasts. I can't speak for all of us, but having a menstrual cycle fucking blows. I had a full-on breakdown at 12 when it was explained to me that this was going to happen every month forever. Yep, lol. I remember I was standing in my bathroom completely miserable and in pain, and I asked my mom to confirm that this would happen every month. Despair set in. It felt like a prison sentence. Mass amounts of cologne. Are you trying to choke me out? I mean, as a man, I hate that in perfume. Hell, there's this guy at my gym who puts on a bunch of Axe body spray despite leaving after 11 o'clock at night and just stinks up the locker room. Been so bad I can taste it. This girl at my gym sprays body spray on herself in the treadmill area and it pisses me off. She's friends with the owner of the gym that's so complaining about it does nothing. I skip cardio if I see her on the treadmill. That women are taught other women are competition from an early age. Fucking hell. My mom raised me with the whole feminine sisterhood mentality. When I hit junior high and then high school, the level of backstabbing and outright hostility really blew my mind. Makes you wonder how much is actually taught V's, how much is inherent in the social development process. I hate when people brag about being a bitch. I stay away from those types. Don't want to be friends with people who freely announce they're a bitch and proud of it. It isn't something to be proud of. It says to me you're choosing to not be nice to others. People with a strong personality. I just speak the truth. I just say, what's on my mind? I don't sugarcoat things and 20 other synonymous phrasings of this statement. I'm just not fake and people can't handle it. Because he avoids aging with one weird trick. I will never tell my secret to avoid aging. Actually, this one time I'll make an exception. Long ago in a distant land me and some homies went on an adventure to Atlantis there. We fought hard, sailed the seas, battled various monsters. By the end, it was just me all alone on some driftwood where I was. Picked up by kind strangers who took me in and let me drink from the fountain of youth. Paul Rudd, is that you? Being told I must be a gamer girl or fake gamer because I play video games. No, I'm just a gamer that happens to also be a girl. A guy who plays video games is a guy who just happens to play games. A girl who plays games has to have an identity attached to her for some reason. Yes, or guys automatically thinking they are better at a game. I used to play with one dude who always blamed our losses on me. I was the only girl in the group. He claimed he was better than me even though my rank in the game, before I started playing with him, was higher than his had ever been. But because he was an awful team player, my rank fell fast. But once he stopped playing with our group, my rank jumped up again. Also, usually guys tend to have a pack mentality when playing together. So if one guy trash talks a girl, they all do it. But once that guy left the group, the guys started to have more respect for me as their teammates. They even told me about some of the things the dude who left our group used to say behind my back. I don't mind banter and things of that sort. But when someone is genuinely being rude and yelling at me because they want to take everything out on me, especially when it's their fault, I'm not going to just be okay with that. Having some jerk man who is a stranger tell me to smile. He doesn't know if my whole family just died. He just wants me to be decorative. When a man tells me you should smile more, it takes everything in my soul to not become violent and get arrested for assault. Exactly. Whenever we disagree with something, stand up for ourselves, push back, etc. We are labeled as aggressive, rude, having a bad attitude. Just because I don't automatically agree with everything someone says or suggests we do things differently does not mean I have a bad attitude. I'm allowed to have my own ideas and opinions, just like Bob over there. I openly hate that crap. Sexual behavior before invitation? Absolutely this. If I'm not in the mood and you just start groping my breasts, I just feel, If I'm not in the mood and you just start groping my breasts, I just feel violent. Granted, I'm a man, so my breasts aren't sought after nearly as much. You know what? They deserve attention. You look good, man. Well, I'm dead tired for the chuckle. When it is assumed that all women think alike. Like men, we have varied interests, passions, and hatreds. What I hate, another woman might love. Assuming we all hate or love the same things will never end well for you. Get to know the women in your life as individuals. Kind of off topic, but this morning I was thinking about attitudes about girls and their interests. Like when I was growing up, it was generally accepted that girls didn't like a lot of things like comics and anime and playing games and video games and a lot of things. Now, I am really happy that there are a lot of girls who like those things as well as stuff like skateboarding and other boy things. It made me wonder how much of that attitude back then was accurate and how much was just projection based on a small sample size of girls and what they liked, and even worse, just society saying that girls shouldn't like such things, always having your appearance judged. I just want to be able to go grab groceries sometimes without putting on a bra, without getting stares or judgments about how lazy or easy or fittable I am. Or get dressed for work without triple checking to make sure you can't see the edge of my bra, which is going to change when my weight fluctuates. Men get to walk through life wearing whatever they want, and the people around them aren't picking it apart or making character judgments based on it. It's exhausting. I do understand men are judged for their appearances, but it is to a very different degree. And there's no equivalent of wearing a bra, which is often visible under clothes and is uncomfortable. When guys don't pick up on the vibe that I don't want to have sex. Even in long-term, committed, and happy relationships, I always had partners try to initiate sex on days where I've openly admitted to being tired, being on my period, being stressed out, or anything else. It's not that I don't like spontaneous sex or want it to be planned, but if I'm not feeling super good about myself, maybe I'm bloated and feel a bit sweaty and I'm cramping. I don't want to have sex. I don't feel good about myself. I don't want anyone to touch me. It's just not the time. How hard is it to understand? This does seem to be a universal thing. Every woman seems to have this complaint. I think some of this boils down to way too many men feeling they are owed sex, despite what the woman is feeling in the moment. Now, where that came from is anyone's guess, but I'm going to go with their fathers being the same or possibly unreal expectations from too much online porn. Too many dudes are not living in the real world, and their future love lives are going to go accordingly. More stories on the channel. RedStore.